Okay, we're coming out of closed session. The first item on the open session agenda is the Sun Valley High School Phase 1 presentation with respect to the bond. Mr. Burnett.
Okay. All right. Sun Valley High School, we have separated this project into two phases, and it's going to be phase 1 GMP, which is guaranteed maximum price, and then phase 2 GMP. Phase 1 is going to be the site, primarily site work. We're going to be regrading fields down here. This is the recycling center from the county. This is known as the soccer field. This is known as the football practice field, baseball, softball, and that is a new practice field that we're going to be adding to the campus. We're very concerned about doing all of this work and having PE and football practice and soccer practice and baseball and all those events that that are seasonal. Most of these fields here are used all the time. So what we are planning to do, the contractor is number one is out to bid with the scope of work, which is the phase 1 scope. And I'll go into detail on what that is, but let me cover some of the time frame. That's out to bid. They expect to be receiving bids May 8th or May 11th. They hadn't finalized that yet. They will be then taking those numbers and then proposing the GMP to us, which they're planning to do that in late May. We will review those, and we want to have a facilities committee meeting, which we need to schedule, but that would be like the last week of May is our hope. Guaranteed maximum price. Yep. And so that is the proposal. We will then, accept that proposal or have them rework some numbers or whatever we feel, is necessary with that. That would then go to the Board of Education at the June 5th meeting. And then the contractor, would start ASAP. Obviously, we had to wait till school is ending, and that's the plan here. This is showing some proposed phasing of the work. We've been working with the school a great deal on trying to make sure, they've got a lot of activities that go on year round. How are those going to be accommodated? In some cases, we can accommodate it here. And in other cases, we've asked them, can you look at the middle school fields? Can you look at the other elementary school fields? Can you look at Indian Trail elementary school fields? Whatever additional fields you need, please explore options. But the timing on this is this practice field at the top, which is new. That's high priority. What we expect is that that's going to be grading in June, sodded, irrigated. Got to have time for the grass to establish. We're hoping to be able to use that field August 1st. These fields will continue to be in use up until July. So there's just going to be that window of July where they have 2 weeks in July where they have dead periods where they can't be on the actively doing practice. So that helps, but that's 2 weeks that they're going to have to look for some kind of alternative. The stadium is going to be active the entire time. Certainly they are concerned about overusing the stadium. And the summertime is when you try to get your stadium to come back to life. This practice field here is where the new stadium is going to be. The stadium scope, which I've got some other sheets that'll show that. The stadium scope includes everything. It's the grandstand, it's the stadium lighting, it's the field house and the locker rooms, the bathroom buildings, the concessions buildings, ticket booths, track, everything associated with the stadium. That timing is, we're expecting that that's going to go from June to the March, April timeframe. Could be that we might be using this stadium for some spring sports. And we'll have to see what that, whether that's going to be going away or whether we have two stadiums. Don't know that detail yet. Baseball and softball fields, that work is going to happen in June and July. And so that kind of deals with this area and the phasing of those work for use by the school. And additional scope on phase one includes redoing the student parking lot, staff parking lot, and bus parking lot. It's not going to happen this summer, but that is still part of phase one. We expect that's going to happen next summer. So that is a concern. We expect that there probably will be some impact to that parking lot. We don't know with the extent yet. We've asked the contractor, where's the staging area going to be? Where's stored materials? Where's contractor parking? All those kinds of things. They don't have that yet. And certainly grandfathered students who are expecting to drive and have a parking space is a concern. But I can tell you on the construction standpoint, replacing and reconfiguring that lot, I'm expecting that's going to be the second summer. And we have some road work that's also in the phase. All that permitting and approvals has yet to this is going to be the main entrance right here. And again, this is the recycling center. So this will be the main entrance into the school. That'll be the construction entrance for now. And then it will become the main entrance to the school. And we have another slide, I think, that shows that. So Dan, if you could switch. All right. This is maybe, hopefully you've seen this before, but this is the overall plan. And I wanted to go over just to make sure that people know that. So parking lot, here's the main entrance into the stadium, ticket booths here. Visitors are on this side. Home is on this side. Want to make sure that, that everybody knows that. The concern, I think the desire from the Sun Valley community was that this be visitors so that they weren't looking into the sun. The only issue with that, I think you had a presentation from the architects that said, this should be your homes, given the relationship to the parking lot here. Right. So this is visitor. They all come through this gate right here. And certainly the school could set something up at another gate if that is something over time that seems to be needed. But the main entrance to the stadium is here. This is going to be restroom and concessions. This is field house, visitor restroom and concessions. That's a storage building. New tennis courts, 6 of them here. We have 2 practice fields. They're going to be graded. And this also has some track and field components to it. This is middle school over here. The drive that's there, that's maintained. And again, that's the new practice field there. This is the new kitchen, dining, admin, and CTE space. This here, this is the track. It shows, it's a nice, the artist took some liberties.
What do you mean?
The middle school.
But
Existing.
They built another one behind
Yeah.
the school, but they still use the front one. The problem with the front one is it's like, and it's like very popular. I was excited to see.
Yeah, some liberties were taken. I'm sorry. So as part of the phasing, the phasing of the work, there will be a temporary facility here. And that's, causes the contractor a little bit of grief as he does that. And then he's got to get that football field in there. But that's going to be that. We have some wetlands in here, and we're also looking at basically a replacement area that we do think is an opportunity for the school. to be involved in that educational opportunity for them to maintain. What we're going to do is we're going to create a little wetlands area.
The county recycling center. Are we moving along with that?
So the county is working to identify a replacement site that is going through the, will be going through the approval process. In talking with the county, they had said, let us know of a date that you need us to be off the site by. And we went back to the contractor. What is the latest possible date? Because the concern is that this is a utilized facility that the community and the public uses that. So there's that need. So we don't want to cause too much of a break in service, but we have provided that date to the county, and we will see.
And where do all the fields drain to? Is it the wetland area?
It should be this area here.
Okay.
And again, that's why we're building this facility here. You catch it, you treat it, and then it goes into the natural drainage pattern.
Dave, I think it's worth noting that we're also working with the architect and more importantly, the contractor on the phase 2 piece of this, in that we've got new construction going on in front of the existing building. So we are really spending a lot of time focusing on traffic, student flow in and out of the existing building. We obviously want to ensure that the students are protected and are safe. So we are focusing diligently on that piece of it as well.
That's a great point. So for phase 2, which is this, predominantly this, and then the renovation work that's going to happen here, we've got mobile units in this location, 7 of which are used by the school. There are more that are used by various departments. Those need to go away, and they need to go away this summer. We've been working with the school to get them to really look at their master schedule, to look at more efficient utilization of existing classrooms. What that means is floating teachers. We want to accommodate the floating teachers so that they have some place to go during that time. So that's certainly an ongoing effort with the realignment. We don't know what those numbers are going to be yet. So we have to wait till we get some data to see how many students we think that we have. And then they'll be able to start in earnest on that effort. But
We should have some idea about that by the end of the month. 'cause
well, we're
grandfathering
looking at it.
stops on
Yeah.
Monday, so.
We're looking at that, and certainly after the numbers are scrubbed, and the grandfathering was the biggest concern, and so we'll have that soon. But we have the student parking lot here, and these students every day need to migrate over here. So we need to make sure that we provide a good, safe path for them on a daily basis to be able to go to and from cars and to the school. And that is a big concern for us. Then the phase 2 work is where the stadium, which is here, goes away, and bus parking lot comes in. And then we have our path, our circulation to the school, which is going to come here, and then we'll still be here. The timing on phase 2 and on the new dining, admin, CTE, and kitchen facility is likely to be a year. We won't have any of that this next school year. It'll be the following school year. And Danny, while we're here, so I mentioned those, and then we're going to be looking at the following summer, doing a lot of the work in the existing building. And that second phase is when we hopefully can do that weight room too.
Question 2 about the buses.
Sure.
They come in, I guess, on the same entrance as the students?
So the students are going to continue to come in this entrance
Okay.
here like they always have. This is going to be a parent drop off. It's currently the bus parking lot. It's going to now swing in, drop off, and then go. Yeah. So that's all going to be coming off Old Charlotte Highway. The buses are going to be coming in here on Wesley Chapel Stouts and drop off. And they still have access to that inner intermodal.
Yeah, I was gonna, yeah. Cause I remember we talked before about having exit
And next
down on the
through
Rogers.
through the, third
because it's
floor.
gonna be a left turn
I didn't
only.
notice that until.
Yeah.
Eventually, yes. Leslie Chappell's there.
What is the parking going to be over here in front of the old structure?
Okay.
Down.
Oh,
There.
this?
What is that?
Existing parking now.
It's
But
existing.
Is that going to be
It's going to be improved.
staff or?
Uh, I mean,
Not sure. Okay.
I mean, I don't know that we would,
Right
it
now.
certainly looks like it's staff. It looks like it would be staff, but that would be up to the school. I would expect that to be predominantly student parking and other locations to be staff. Let me mention this too. So currently certainly for next school year, this is going to be the drop off. And that all stays. And we're going to make just a little bit of improvement here because that's a pretty tight little path there. This here,
I mean, sorry, the current.
this old cafeteria.
Does that stay?
Well, we continue to have parking on the right-hand side as
On the
you're
right-hand
as
side,
you're
right,
entering the
that's right.
school. Yes.
And then
It's-
by there's also parking band.
Right. We would lose that. What we are, and I think we have another slide that shows that we are trying to make that more of a pedestrian access point.
Band, so they back up a truck, that band room to load it.
And I was talking, you said band, and I was thinking cafeteria service entrance.
There's one of those two.
Yeah, that right there is the loading dock. And we've got utilities over here. We've got the chiller and things like that.
Band is over.
Yeah, band is here. So we still have this access here, and we are looking to have I think the next slide yeah, the next slide may not do it. So yeah, we're looking to modify the plan so that we have truck access, vehicle access that serves the CTE, but also serves band. And we're going to modify this area right in there so that it'd be to improve circulation through there. But I wanted to mention in the future when NCDOT does their widening, we're going to lose part of this here. So I expect we'll lose the parkings on the left-hand side, but we'll still be able to have vehicle access. Danny?
Do we need to add any parking up by the practice field? Is it just gonna be grass and you can park on the grass beside of it?
Right now, we aren't showing any parking over here. We aren't encouraging the public to be using the access road. Its original intention was for buses. We really haven't changed any of that concept or anything like that. So we aren't promoting and we aren't providing any parking here back here. We are trying to keep that over there. Will people park there if the school allows it? Okay. This is a closer up shot. So you can see kind of how the bus lot is working. Future construction here. That's the weight room. Pedestrian access through here. This is a pedestrian plaza. This is the future dining. This is the gym. So kind of nice common space. It is outside, but it's still nice space. A little bit of a walkway and pedestrian friendly area. Buses again, we'll head that way. We might increase the amount of sidewalk in that particular area just to assist with stadium related activities and the public accessing the stadium so that we can try to keep some grass, in that area to walk on the
And
sidewalk.
the other thing about the bus lot, I remember last time we talked about removable bollards.
Right.
to keep people
So
from-
this is a subject we had at a meeting recently. They currently show removable bollards there. I don't think we're going to go with removable bollards because I expect they will be down all the time because the buses are using it all the times. Yes. Yeah. And I think what we are going to prefer is that and we asked them to put a gate put a gate in. It's going to be more manageable. What we expect is that during the day it'll be open. If the school wants to close it in the after hours to prevent cars from getting back here, they have that opportunity. Yeah, I think it's off this sheet, but it's up at the top.
No, it's not hydraulic. Somebody moves it and puts the thing within the lock.
So closer. So again, the plan is that the public would be coming through the ticket booth area. Again, they'd be taking the sidewalk to the visitor, or they'd be taking the sidewalk to the home. That's the home concession stand and toilets. This is the visitor and restrooms. Again, that's a maintenance building. And so the stadium will have lights. It'll have sound system. It'll have an irrigation system. And I think that covers that. And then the tennis courts above, Danny. So specifically, I wanted you all to quickly see the floor plans of the various buildings. This is the field house. We have had a request from the school to make a change in the design, and we are pursuing that. Currently, you've got one locker room, another locker room. Got a restroom that serves that restroom locker room. You have a restroom that serves this. There's just a single. It's for a single person. And the request was, hey, we have a locker room. Can we have more flushing fixtures? And they said that the school said, look, this is the officials' room. Go ahead and take that out if we can get more flushing fixtures. So we're working through that issue. The official room, when that goes away, the school has to pick up some responsibilities for the officials. They'll take the officials to and from the school, have them a place at the school for them to change clothes, whatever they need to. So these two spaces here would grow into that. But we aren't talking that we can get a large group restroom. Unfortunately, we expect that it's only going to be 2 flushing fixtures in each restroom as opposed to 1. This is the visitor restroom. This is concessions, storage, and then restrooms there. This is the home side. Many more flushing fixtures, kitchen, storage, and ticket booths. We were just talking yesterday. I don't know if we can actually make the change, but we thought that it would be better if we consolidated the 2 ticket booths into 1 ticket booth, and then had the visitors and home go on either side of the ticket booth. Minor detail. Next. It's the grandstands, just so you see how they are. I think this is in the neighborhood of about 4 feet off the ground at that walking surface. And next. And then getting into the weeds. So if you have any other questions, that was really what we planned to show you for Sun Valley.
Take a very brief 5-minute break and come back. Okay? Okay, we're back. The next item on the agenda is the CIP for 5 years. Mr. Burnett.
Okay, and we had distributed this in its email form so that you all can sort it however you wanted to sort it. We did make a printout version here too, not with any scientific sorting on that, but in this version we tried to highlight changes that have occurred since we last met. The green was where we were putting back some items that we had previously discussed. And due to maybe an item coming out, we went back to what we thought were priorities to put those back in. The yellow highlights are showing where we have some new true-up items. It's not showing all of the true-up items, but it's showing the new ones. And then if you look on your electronic version, you'll see remove as one of the categories. I'm sorry, as one of the years. And you can see where any cuts any changes that we made, anything that got cut out, you'll see that that's where it is. So it's denoted as under remove. So
And because of the order of things on the agenda today, the Western Union bids came in a little bit lower, so that's why we need to pick some new projects out of for the true-up funding.
Okay.
So that would be their recommendation for the true-up.
And again, if a dollar amount changed, we did try to note that in the green. So it may have been an item that was already there, but
So we had talked about the window funding for East Elementary and Parkwood High at the last meeting, correct? When we talked about the bids that had come in and the need for additional funding for that. And then the other one is a chiller for Waxhaw Elementary School.
Right.
So are we close or at least a little bit over on the 3.145 million on the, which
we
was
are
just a guesstimate?
right. We went a little high on that,
Okay,
so that
good.
that seemed to be the safe way to go on that.
That's good.
And we also had that's highlighted in green. Sardis Elementary School has a new playground. I think it's $60,000. That's on there because right now they have lost their playground. We had needed to do a repair, and we had closed the playground so that we could do that repair. And then we have learned that we can't repair it, that we have to replace it. So we put it on here. So that's a new item.
Was that 3.35? Okay. No, it's okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So this takes into account everything that we talked about at our work session on the CIP.
We think so. And if there's anything that we didn't put on there, if you want to, we can try to talk and identify things that we may be aware of.
Okay. So at this point, is the idea that we should recommend this to the full board to discuss at the work session, or not even recommend it yet, but take it to the full board at the work session and see if they have any comments, go back to facilities before the May 1 meeting and make a decision now? I think we should send this as a draft to the full board to look at the work session. And
session.
after that, we can approve it if they have any comments or things that they want.
I agree. I think what I was going to ask Mr. Covington to do was to package all the entire budget documents together, capital and operating, send that to the full board, probably in the board packet this Friday,
Mhm.
and then and have them in preparation for next Tuesday's work session,
Okay,
and then have a discussion with the full board on both.
okay. And then after our joint meeting with the county and before the next board meeting, when we have to approve the budget, we could get together quickly if there's any changes. If not, it would be even quicker.
So what we're looking at today is our 5-year CIP. What is the total for 2019?
Danny, can you sort that fine?
14,847,490. Here's each year.
Yeah, can we have a breakout? For
It's
each
over
year?
there, Danny. If you move the spreadsheet over, there it is.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought we decided to break out true up
We're gonna,
separately.
we're gonna break it out once
Uh-huh.
they give it to us. So, but that's the total of everything.
Total
Yes,
with
with true up.
estimated true
Yes,
up.
correct. And it jumps up in the 5th year because that's really the first year where the roof assessment
Roofing.
starts to come in
Yeah.
about what up or replacements or parts of the thing.
Yeah, and it also jumps up because it's becoming like a catch-all because we're trying to maintain, about a $14-15 million level on each year, but the needs are greater than that. So they keep getting pushed back.
I'm good with this. Thanks for doing that. Does anyone else have any questions?
No.
Great. The next item on the agenda is the sales tax. Can you do me a favor when we send this to the full board? Can you send them the whole thing by school like you did to us?
Sure.
And can you also send a separate file that just shows 19? Because
Mhm.
really, although we do 5 years because we're required to, we're really good with first year. After that, we may have to switch stuff up. So if you don't mind, if you could send 2 files or 2 worksheets or whatever word you want to use. Thank you.
We'll do that. I'll just ask Dave, Sunu, and Danny if you'll send that to Donna, I'd say by noon today, so she can start to begin to package this.
And we will remove all the shading. That's
Okay,
for
yes.
your purposes.
Perfect.
But I would, okay, so you do have it under true up, under various, perfect. So Indian Trail's gonna go into there as well? Because they're true up too. I see it, never mind. Thanks. Okay. Sales tax reimbursements.
Sure. So in order for UCPS to receive greater sales tax reimbursements from the state, there's 3 things that the Board of Education needs to do. One is to deed the properties to Union County. The second is that both boards would need to approve an amendment to the existing agency agreement to reflect the 2016 bond. That would be an Exhibit A. And the third is to assign our contracts that we have with the general contractor to the county. And in the paperwork, you'll see an assignment of that contract. You'll see the amendment to the agreement. And staff would have to go back and do the deed changes per project as we probably would do that all at one time, but the contracts would be as we bid them.
And this is what we've done in the past for bond projects?
Correct.
And is that because the funding is coming from the county
So
that we can't get our own?
if we don't do this, then we don't qualify for as much sales tax
Okay.
reimbursement. And this is to maximize the sales tax reimbursement.
Okay, and it does say that we're on page 2, that both parties agree that the amounts received by the county as refunds from the state sales tax with respects to expenditures that they come back to us for capital construction costs or debt service related thereto.
Yeah, in the agreement, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, no.
In the agreement, you'll see that Union County Public Schools still controls all the projects. We act as the county's agent. And in that, but in the documents and in their agreement with the contractor, the contractor is to see us as the owner. They aren't going to know that there's any difference. And we're still responsible for, on the design side, the construction side, everything that the owner is responsible for, we're on the hook for that.
Yep, thank you. The next item is the Western Union Bond and CIP projects bids.
So this is really good news. Very happy to report that we bid. This was the first bond project. We bond and CIP. We did receive bids. We had enough contractors that we could open bids. The lowest responsive bid was provided by Haas Contracting, Inc., and they've done a lot of work for us under a different name. We feel we can propose that the base bid plus all 4 bid alternates be approved. That's a total of $1,445,300. You all are aware of, project bids versus project budgets versus construction budgets. So our construction budget is $1,541,393. So we're $96,000 to the good, and that allows us to maintain, we're going to have a 6% contingency on this. So we're very happy about that. We did identify some true-up funding for this project if needed. And we hadn't received that yet. That's not in any of these numbers. And we would have received that by July 1st. However, we're within budget as we are. So that's why in the CIP, you see, we were recommending some other true-up funding items. At this time, staff's request the Facilities Committee to recommend to the Board of Education the approval of the construction contract with Haas Contracting in the amount of $1,445,300 for the base bid, plus alternates 1, 2, 3, and 4.
And this would be completed this summer?
No,
No.
no. The project will be started this summer. David, do you recall what the completion date is for Western Union?
December. Thank you.
Right, and this includes the canopies,
Yep.
and we just kind of know the trials and tribulations of
Right.
canopies. So we know there's some long lead items with this. This is including the new connecting building, so that construction.
And
So the
was
completion. Let me mention this because people couldn't hear David. The completion date is December.
and was the alternate 0, alternate 1?
So that would be if there was a premium to go with the preferred bid alternates, but there is no premium.
This is great news.
It is really
Yep.
good news.
Thank you. Thank you. We need a motion to recommend this bid to the full board at the next meeting.
So moved.
Okay, second. All those in favor? Awesome. Thank you. Canopy bids, Mr. Burnett.
So we bid this project several times, and a rebid date of April 10th. We were able to open the bids. However, we're over budget. What we're proposing is that we repackage the project, rebid it, and that would be most likely next fiscal year. There isn't any way that this canopy work can be done this summer. So that work primarily is going to be occurring next fiscal year, next summer.
Thank you. Next item is the ADA project bids.
Unfortunately, that is basically a repeat of what I just said. We had to rebid that project too. We did receive bids April 17th and opened those. We are over budget on this project as well. We propose that we repackage this, which is going to be a challenge, but we need to figure out how we can repackage that and rebid that. And that again would be next fiscal year.
Great. Thank you. The next item is the change order report that we got a copy of.
Right. And we had one item on that. I think it was $5,000 to YCH, and that was at Piedmont High School. Basically, it's a very minor item, but we did rescope that job. There was a little bit of work that they had done beforehand. In rescoping the work, it involved a consultant, and it's easier for the architect if it was something that they were doing in-house. They could have absorbed that cost, but this was a consultant fee. It's reasonable, and it doesn't have a negative impact on the budget.
Great. Thank you. We have the construction update list. Is there anything in particular you need to go over? We already did some of it.
I'll go over a couple highlights. Parkwood High School Stadium, that LED lighting project
awesome.
is nearing completion. We're hoping that, and really we're at the point of, it's any day now. So that's good. Monroe Middle School, contractors indicating that, he can condense that 2-summer project into 1 summer, which is what we have always wanted. And that on our end, we have to coordinate with our asbestos abatement, which we have been doing. So we do feel that we can accommodate the general contractor and help make that happen. We will be probably somewhat nervous the entire summer as the staff gets through, but it will be really if the contractor is able to do it. He feels Benton Heights, that work is continuing. They're doing storage work. Most of, if you drive by there, see the structure, of the auditorium. Bond projects, we have 3 bid meetings today for the high school. Big participation with in the neighborhood of 10 plus contractors. Don't know that all those are bidders, but we will see. We anticipate receiving bids May 8th. And we're working with the city to adjust an existing easement on High School Drive. And that process will go into June or later. Piedmont High School, we're in the construction documents phase. Getting ready to advertise that project should be next week. We expect to receive bids May 17th is the current schedule on that. And then that would go to next May facility committee. The transportation did talk about this. So we're the direction right now is that we're efforts to get to the city first, and it's in saying that the whole process with the city, we had to have to go through with the county. So either way, we had a process. Well, this process for the city includes annexation petition. It's either a conditional use or special use. I don't recall which one the city calls that. We do have a condemnation that we have to pursue. That's a property that the ownership of the property cannot be established. So that's our plan. If you all feel differently, now's a great time to let us know.
We need to get going on that project. That's great.
And Sun Valley High School, that next meeting that we have is only
The surplus inventory. Anyone has on that? That's it. Need a motion. If there's nothing else, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Thank you.